My name is Stephen Butler, and a lot of people call me Doc because I have a doctorate. I always tell everybody I'm a doctor, but the only thing I can cure you of is ignorance of history.
Butler, a longtime Richardson resident and president of the Richardson Historical and Genealogical Society, wrote a book to help the public gain a better understanding of the city's history.
This is the book here, A Sesquicentennial History of Richardson, Texas, or How a Tiny Railroad Town Became One of the Biggest Small Cities in the Lone Star State. Volume 1, Rural Roots, 1841 to 1924.
His interest in learning stemmed from a DNA test.
I discovered that by rights, my last name should be Miles, not Butler.
He learned that his grandfather, Charlie Miles, was a Richardson resident, and he wanted to know everything about the town where he once lived.
When was the town founded? How was it founded? Who was responsible?
The book answers those questions. It tells us that it was the Houston and Texas Central Railroad that is responsible for the existence of Richardson.
The railroad was building up from Houston in the 1870s. They reached Dallas in 1872 and got out here to Richardson the following year in 1873.
The book also notes that the city is named after Alfred Stephen Richardson, the secretary of the railroad.
It was the custom in those days, or the habit of the railroad, to name a lot of the new towns they established along the route of the railroad after the directors of the railroad.
Butler used a number of items such as old photographs provided by the Richardson Public Library as part of his research. But he said there were two primary sources that were extremely helpful.
The old deed records of Dallas County and newspapers of the time period, like the Richardson Echo.
He even found some interesting stories from first-hand accounts. That's how he learned that Theodore Roosevelt briefly stopped in Richardson.
He stopped at the train depot and a bunch of people gathered around and he gave a brief address. Probably wasn't longer than 2 or 3 minutes, and then he was off on his way to Dallas.
If you're interested in reading about these moments in history and more, a copy of the book is available at the library. It can also be purchased for a special sesquicentennial price,
$20.23.
For a list of events, community involvement opportunities, history stories, and additional ways to keep up with the latest information about Richardson's 150th anniversary celebration, visit www.richardson150th.com.
This is your town. Celebrate it. You live in one of the best cities in Texas. Oh, heck. You live in the best city in Texas. Not one of.